Well, hello fellow RVers. This is Gary with Ruff Road RV Life. We like looking at freedom. So where has freedom brought us? Well, we are at a city called Derry, Pennsylvania. It's also close to Alexandria. It's about 3.5 miles down the road. And we're going to do a tour of Keystone State Park in Pennsylvania. So the campgrounds are that way. The day use area is that way. So which way? Well, let's go to the day use area first and then end at the campgrounds. 2 loops. So let's start touring. Off we go to the to make a right, the park office, pavilions, picnic, bait boat concession, and the beach area. And today is Monday, September 13th. It's 11:50 in the morning, and it's 73 degrees, overcast and cloudy. Pavilion number 2. Dumpster, the ball field, and the bridge.
We think this is McCune Run through here, which flows out of the lake, Keystone Lake, which we'll see in a moment. Okay, right down that road closed, that is the levee. If you walk right back down that, if you go to the left, you'll go to the Lakeside Campground, and if you go to the right, you'll go to the Hillside Campground. There's cottages and cabins as well. And there's your lake.
And you will see the boat rentals down there, the kayaks, canoes, and little boats.
There's a bathroom coming up.
And this is the day use area.
And there's a charging station for your vehicle. We're starting to see those around. So here is the mooring area, launching area, bait and boat concession.
And a boat ramp.
Kayak rentals, paddle boards, live bait, minnows, tackle, boat rental, drinks, snacks, ice cream, firewood, ice camp supplies. Open. They are open, and they have snacks and live bait.
This is the boat ramp.
We're going to circle around and get a better view. So there you go. A closer look at the boat ramp.
And the lake.
And the lake. And the rentals, the docks out there. Very nice. Okay, we're going to turn right here, and head straight to the beach area. So the park office is to the right, the beach area is to the right, and pavilion number 1 is to the right.
And this is Little Bridge. That's what we call it.
Yes, this is a little tiny bridge. Don't go over it in your RV. This is 1-lane traffic, although it's a 2-way street. There's a picnic area we just passed on the right.
And you notice the weight limit, 11 tons.
Yes. Which is odd because the road to get here has a weight limit of 10 tons. It's a parking area off to our left. There's a Lakeside trail. You can see it maybe through the trees. It goes along the lake. It goes around the lake.
That's the pavilion.
That's pavilion number 1. Lakeside trail over there that goes to the beach area. There's the Lakeside trail right there. There's our sign, Keystone State Park.
So, what do they have here on Sunday afternoons from 9 to 1?
Right there, if you come here on Sunday, there's a farmer's market from 9 to 1. Fresh produce, jewelry, handmade things. There's the Lakeside Trail again.
There's the playground. Yeah, all this to the right, left over here was filled up with vendors had fruits and vegetables and crafts.
Yes, very nice. It was a nice surprise.
swim beach is over here to our right. And it was full yesterday, Sunday.
Yes, it was. People enjoying the day. You can see the cottages across the way there in the Lakeside Campground.
But that's your beach area.
It's like a canoe and kayak launch.
It's more of the trail.
They have a nice path so you can cross the bridge. So to our left is another part of the trail system, right that way. We checked that out the other day. The Lakeside Trail goes right along here. I don't know if it's at Lakeside, Lakeshore, what is the official name of it? The Lake Trail, we'll call it. It is the longest trail in the park, and you can bike it. And there is the lake. On this breezy day, I hope you can hear me. Nice parking lot up here to the right. And if you walk back through the woods, you will arrive back at the campgrounds. And there is a trail system to the left as well. We checked that out the other day. We had a nice three-mile adventure. And we had a map. Last time we had an adventure, we forgot our map. This time we had our map, and we still had an adventure.
There's more of the lake trail, and then there's also another couple of trails that come off the lake trail down there.
Yes. I think I read 8 miles total of hiking trails.
Right. I think the lake trail itself is 2.5 miles, and it is the trail that you can ride a bike on.
And the other trails, you said, are
hiking trails.
Hiking only. Okay.
Now that trail there we went on, right across.
Gary.
Oh, yeah, we walked on that trail, and there's 2 trails that come off of that, the Davis Trail and the Strawberry Cutter Trail. But then there's also another loop, part of the Davis Trail to the left, and the blazes were kind of confusing, so we wound up walking both trails at one day, over 3 miles.
It was a great hike.
Using our phone and everything else to get back.
Very scenic up in there, and there's a beaver pond that the trail goes by. It's a little muddy right there in the beginning, but it's nice. So now we are on our way back to
Campground.
the campground. Checking out the campground loops, cabins, and cottages.
And yurts.
And yurts. So this parking lot off to our right goes to what would you call that area? The AMD area.
Reclamation area for an old...
Yeah, this used to be a mining area, and so they're reclaiming the water and purifying it. There is the entrance that we came in. It has a weight limit of 8 tons, and we'll share information about that in a minute. And now we're heading to the visitor, well, not the visitor center, the cottages, yurts, and camping areas. Check-in station straight ahead. And
not manned.
Not manned. You go right to your site. This is a place you can unhook your toad off to the right. And you can also make reservations here. They have phones for you and all the information. This is 100% reservable park. So as we come in here, to our left is freshwater fill and dump station.
And
trash cans. And recycling.
We're going to start at the family cabins, and then we're going to go to the Lakeside Campground.
And the road we just passed goes to Hillside Campground, and that's where we'll end today.
So, right up here, not very far, is our sign to the family cabins.
These are very nicely tucked back up in here.
And there there's your sign. 11 cabins total. We're gonna take this loop 3 through 10.
Right, 1 through 11 is that way.
1, 2, and 11.
1, 2, and 11. And these are real wood cabins. Come and check it out. That's cabin number 3 right there. Wooden front porch.
Gravel road, in case you can't tell.
Cabin number 4. Areas to park. Cabin number 5. It's very nice. There's some cabins down that little road and the trail. A trail. That one is occupied, so we're just going to pass up. Cabin number 8 we just passed. And here's cabin number 9 and cabin number 10. And again, you got these connecting trails here to other parts of the park. And that gives you an idea of what the cabin area is like, in case you're interested in cabin camping.
Now, something interesting here on this kiosk, there's a telephone hanging on it.
It's emergency. So this phone is here for emergencies. You will find that, well, for us, Verizon service works, right, hon?
Yep.
But it doesn't work throughout the park, so perhaps that's why. Okay, exiting the cabin area, we're going to turn right and head towards Lakeside camping and the yurts and the cottages. But first,
And
the
a very
lake.
small boat ramp.
But there's part of the creek, the spillway, and then on up here to the campground.
Okay, now in the Lakeside campground, it's going to be sites 1 through 40. It accommodates 12-foot to 40-foot RVs. Most of these, as you enter, are primitive sites. There's 98 total sites in the park, 30 are primitive. And there's going to be a visitor center on our right, but it is not open.
Another word about this part of the campground. This is a no pet section. So pay attention. There's the road to the visitor center. Pay attention when you book. If you have a pet and you want to bring your pet, this is not the campground loop for you. So we're going to go slowly by this visitor center. I just want you to see it. It's a really cool building from the early 1900s. I think 1930 something. It's being worked on right now. Looks like it's closed. And also in this area is the most difficult trail in the park, the Stone Lodge Trail. So here begins our tour with site number 1 of the actual campground, and these
are all primitive going down this right-hand side.
If you see an E on a post, it has electric. Although some of the posts are, some of the electric sites are 20, 30 amp, and some are 20, 30, 50. So that you would have to look at when you're booking. And we'll try to point them out, but there seems to be no rhyme or reason. They're just kind of all scattered about. Site 6, so that's a good look. Very woody feel, like you're really camping. Well, you are really camping in a primitive site. Site 8, it's a little more open. Okay, and 11 over here is an electric site. 13 is electric, and 16. 15 on the right. It's one of the primitive sites. You are just passing a campground host. They're busy out there. There's our first yurt. Right there. We'll probably see yurt number 1. And right up there is yurt number 2.
And I believe there's 3 cottages.
The Lakeside Trail is right there. I'm going to go check out the cottages.
And a water.
This is no water at the site park, so you will have to bring your own onboard water or fill jugs and whatnot. Alright, here is the cottage area. There's cottage number 1.
And a little sign there, electric boat motors only.
Yes. There's your rules. There's a nice cottage over to our right.
You have a little dock and a little ramp, which to me it looks more like a kayak launching ramp.
Mm-hmm. Very small area here.
There's no boat trailer parking over.
Straight across the water there is a beach. So there's a beach look from this side.
So if you're staying at these cottages or yurts, you can just dive off the platform, swim across to the beach.
Now the cabins are nice, but these cottages are they're really cute. Overlooking the water. There's number 2 and there is number 3. They're just adorable, tucked up here in the woods. Alright, now on to the other part of the Lakeside Campground.
And this side is a double tier. There's about four or five sites on the middle tier, and then the other sites are actually Lakeside.
So there are 4 sites up here on this part of the road, but we're going to head on down here and check out these that are closer to the water.
There's another motorhome.
Site 20 is for sale. Site 22. And site 24.
Can you get a picture of those over there?
These are all electric sites along here. And 26. I can't easily get a picture over here. There, just hold it up. So those sites up there are electric, and they are primarily 30 amp. 21 is a 50 amp site. These down here on the water are 50 amp sites. In this section.
26, 28, 30.
Yep. So we'll take a good look at 28 when we go by so you can see. So, you know, there you have your own space. Got a nice water view, even if you are a little close to your neighbor. And coming back up here to site 32. Site 32 is a 30 amp site. So look at that. That's your view right there. Isn't that lovely?
And there's your shower, bathhouse.
Bathhouse for this area. Which is right next to site 33, an electric site.
You got 34 and 35 on the other side, which are tent areas.
And 33A is straight ahead. It is an electric site. 37, primitive. And 39, primitive. There are sites on the left that are primitive as well. They're a little up the hill there. This is
site 40.
a tiered campground loop. It's right there.
And that's the end of this loop.
There's your dumpsters and your recycling for here. Now we head back the way we came in.
And if you look down here to the right, there's a nice little area.
Yeah, I think this is where the amphitheater is. Right there, right on the water. Wouldn't that be a cool place? Yep, amphitheater, and they do have programs here. Check out the red tree. So excited for fall. I can't wait to see peak colors. Last year in our travels, we just kept dipping south. So the colors would start to get vibrant, and then we'd dip south. And they'd be dull. And then about the time we left, they would start to get vibrant, and then it was time to dip south. So I about 1 week behind the peak all last year during our travels. That's a nice spillway right there where the creek runs on. Although there's not miles and miles of roads, park roads, there's plenty of room to walk your pets, or walk or take a jog or a stroll or a bike ride, whatever's your thing.
So this is Hillside Campground. It's pet friendly. The other loop was not, as my wife said earlier. Camping pad lengths accommodate 32 to 55 feet in length. These are sites 41 through 98, and 13 of these are primitive.
There you go. And we will say our camp host here has been very nice.
Very friendly.
Yes. That's his first site right there. So water spigot right there.
And this was full over the weekend.
43 is an electric site. And 45 is right there. Now there are sites on the left, not right here, not through here. This is just overflow parking. 47 and 49 and 51, all electric sites. And more overflow parking. And the bathhouse.
Get a better shot of that on the other side.
Yeah. Site 54 is an electric site right there, and 55. So you see some of these have brush in between them and some of them do not. And there's 57. Here, we'll take a look at 57 just so you can get an idea.
Yeah.
58 is right there on the left, but here's 57. It is an electric site, and they're gravel and pavement. 59 electric site is right there. Check to see what site you want. Some are 30 amp, some are 50 amp. And here is Ruff Road. We are site 61, and we are 50 amp here. But it's a nice site. We have a nice wooded site. They're not all like that, but a lot of them are. 62 is an electric. It's back over here.
Yeah, you see the difference between 62 and 64. There's not a lot of
No, they're open, very open.
yard space in here.
But you also have that area tucked up in the woods there
Right.
for 64. And then here is 63, which is an electric, and 65. Electric site. There's nothing on our left right now. 67, electric site right there. Now stomping right here, 69 is on our right, tucked up in there. And 68 is on the left. So this is a busy corner when everybody's here. 70's to the right there. There's a camp host. 71, 73, here's 74. It's a nice deep site, little slopey to one side. Ours was a little slopey, but we didn't have any trouble leveling. There's 76 electric, and we just kind of went by the ones on the end there. So I'm going to show you. So there's a little overview where we just came from. So those sites that I just mentioned more on the inside, that's what they look like. They're kind of right out here with no brush. But then on the many other sites, you do have plenty of brush and the wooded feel. Okay, continuing on around.
79's a primitive.
Yeah, that one's on our right. 78 and 80 are electric on the left. But here's a peek at a primitive site. I really like these primitive sites on this side because they are mostly all tucked up here in the woods. If you're a tent camper, or that's just what you prefer to do. 82 electric and 81. So I think you get the idea. These are some nice primitive sites. I really like them. 84, it's electric over here, and 86. Also electric. 85. It's a primitive site. You can keep going.
87 is primitive, right up there where that picnic table is.
And there is the bathhouse. So it's centrally located right in the middle of this loop. All right, heading on around. Check out these other sites. Site 89 on the left.
Is an ADA site.
Electric. And 90 right there is electric. 91 on the left, right, on the right is primitive. 92 is, that's electric. And 93, another primitive site. 94, primitive, and 95, primitive.
This end is more primitive of this loop.
Yeah, I think they all are primitive from here on out, right? Look at the woods that are around here.
And there's 98.
97, 98, 96 on the left, and 99. And then we are back to start. There's our friendly campground host right there.
Okay, so we're back here at our campsite, Site 61. And that was our tour of Keystone State Park, the 2 campgrounds in the day use area, the beach, the boat ramp, some of the trails, etc. And one thing that we did notice on our way in here, and the 2 entrances to the state park, is you'll see the weight limit signs. One was 10 tons, one was 8 tons. Well, we have a motorhome that was actually more than that. So we got confused and we were looking on our Google Maps to see if there was a bridge or something, and then we talked to the host about it, and apparently that weight limit signs are like a Pennsylvania thing that keeps the commercial traffic from cutting through the park roads. And if you have a campsite reservation in the campground, come on in.
Right. You have business there, then you can come in.
And just to highlight a couple of the other things, the Lakeside Loop is no pets. The Hillside Loop has pets. And this is a not water at your site park, so you have to bring your onboard water. And they have spigots located around the park and at the dump station for freshwater fills. Verizon service, we have had no problem with the Verizon service at our site, but there are areas around the campground that you may have issues. Correct?
Correct, indeed. Out hiking, it dropped to 1x or 3x. So, but here at our campsite, at Campsite 61,
you've been good.
Stellar. Thank you, Verizon.
Now, there are hiking trails here. I believe there's a total of 8 miles of interconnected trails. Most of them are a loop of some sort. And on the brochure they give you that tells about the hiking trails and all that, they have them like easy. Well, most campgrounds I go to, they're easy, moderate, or difficult. And I'm okay with that. This one here, the verbiage says easiest. Now that does not mean it's an easy trail. That just means it's the easiest trail of the trails that are here. Because some of the easiest ones I would classify as moderate. Because they have some climbs. One of them was almost 300 feet. And they got roots and rocks and all that. And some of them are nice gravel, like the Lakeside Trail is a nice trail that you can ride your bike on.
It is the easiest trail. It is classified easiest.
So keep that in mind if you're trying to figure out which trail you're going to walk. If it says easiest, don't misinterpret that as easy. But I will be honest with you, I got around all of them but the one. So if I can do it, most anybody can do it, because I'm not a hiker. I'm a walker. She's a hiker. I don't hike. I walk.
I am doing the most difficult. It's most easy to most difficult. That's what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
So I'll show you some pictures.
So that's my take on the trails out of here, but they're nice trails.
Yes, they're nice and wide, and they are marked. If you could understand exactly what trail the markings correlate to, which you kind of can, but just pay attention when you go out.
And my take on that is follow the triangles. They got like little triangles, red, blue, yellow, green, and some of them have a yellow blaze painted on the tree. I would
just
forget about the blaze and just follow the triangles, and you'll stay out of you won't have issues with the map reading quote.
But it was an adventure.
Yes, it was an adventure. This is like a half-mile loop and it should have been about a 1.1, 1.2 mile walk in, and then the loop, and then walk back out. Okay, no problem. 3.2 miles later.
He's like, this is the longest half-mile loop I've ever been on.
We're encountering another guy who's lost out there too. Goes, where'd you come from? Well, I came from the parking lot. It's that way. He goes, I've been wandering out here a half hour. So anyway, but we do have some apps on our phone,
but they
like
are
All
marked.
Trails.
They are marked.
and Map My Walk that can help show us where to get back anyway.
Yeah, that was helpful. That was helpful.
That's our trail rant. Anyway, other than that, there's no big cities around here. Alexandria is 3.2 miles up the road. You can get gas and stuff like that up there. And then this is actually a Derry address, and we had not been into the city of Derry.
No,
but there's no major
there's
Walmart's close.
Right, there's a pizza place up the way, not far, a place to get gas. It's a pretty busy little intersection there, but
yeah, just come stocked.
All right.
For your stay.
And we did not fish here, so we can't speak on fishing license. I don't know if you looked at that.
And something we just learned.
That's where I was going.
Just before we started this wrap up, is if you kayak in this lake, what do you have to have?
You have to have a permit. And we did not know that. I don't know if it's written in a fine print up there near the, where the launches are, but I understand they don't play here. So ignorance is not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So word to the wise, as a kayaker, I did not know that was even a thing. In Florida, we don't have permits. We only saw an inkling of a permit in Indiana, and we weren't kayaking, so we just really kind of dismissed it. However, we learned that it is a thing here, and apparently it sounds like it's a thing in Ohio.
Yeah.
According to our conversation with the campground host. So, if you kayak in different states all the time, my new task is going to be to research, will I need a permit or not?
Yeah, in Florida you just throw it in the water and go. Now in our travels, say out west or up top, we did have to go through a few boat check stations.
Right.
If it floats, you stop, and they want to make sure there's no water in the boat or mud that would carry parasites from another state into their state or another body of water in. So we did have to go through a few of those.
Right.
But as far as the actual permitting, like it's a motorboat, we haven't had to do anything like that.
No.
But we just found that out about this state. We didn't get a ticket, but we found that out.
No, I didn't kayak. It's been windy. Yeah. If we'd had a non-windy day, I may have kayaked, and I could be facing a fine, I suppose.
All right. So I think we've dotted the I's and crossed the T's.
Right. We've talked about the weight limits. We talked about the permit. Those are two important things. We talked about the no pet areas, and we understand there's another Pennsylvania park. That's pretty common in Pennsylvania parks, we understand. We do understand that there's another Pennsylvania park that you can't even walk your dogs in the no pet loops. So here it is allowed, there it's not. Not that we want to go walk our dog if people don't want to be around pets, but it's just something to be aware of. Yeah. You don't want to be walking
your dog in your loop. You can't even walk it to like the daycare area, the day use area, or anywhere else. You got to keep it.
Is that what he said? Not even the day use area?
You can only walk your dog in in the loop that you're on.
So we're in a different world here in Pennsylvania, apparently, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So
I'm not up on rules. Anyway,
we're going
it's
to...
all good. We enjoyed our stay here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. I think chatterbox. It's like you remember one of them Chatty Cathy dolls that you keep pulling the string and she keeps... That's my Chatty Cathy right here. Except she pulls her own string. Anyway.
I just want you to know, there are rules here in Pennsylvania. There are rules. So know before you go. That's all.
We have established that there are rules in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, we're moving tomorrow, headed down east a little bit or somewhere. I don't know where we're going. We'll find out when we get there.
Southeast.
But southeast. So there we go. So this is Gary and Sharon with Ruff Road RV Life. Continue to follow us on our travels if you would. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, the notification thing, right? All that
Leave a comment.
good stuff.
Say hello.
And we hope to see you on the road sometime. But we do like looking at freedom, even if you have to get a permit.
Every day.
Yes.
Safe travels.
Take care. Had to get the whole hand.
Hand. I thought you were going to high five me.
I high-fived it.